Okay, let me clarify. As I've mentioned in my comment, I am not saying these artworks were not shaded. I'm simply trying to criticize the argument that because a sculpture looks a certain way, it therefore had to be painted a certain way. As this argument relies on our modern day taste and understanding towards art and does not actually base itself on any scientific evidence or even take into account the cultural context of these artworks. I've also gotten comments that say, well, if we look at the frescoes of Pompeii, clearly they had an understanding of depth and shading. But if we look at the original video, we can see the Peplos Core, which was made roughly 500 years earlier than the frescoes of Pompeii. I think people tend to forget that the Greco-Roman world was not one homologous civilization, and instead was a conglomeration of many different societies over a long period of time. So evidence of shading for one of those times was not evidence of shading for all of those times. So for example, do I believe the Augusta Suprema Porta was shaded realistically? Yes. And not because that's what good art is supposed to look like, but because there's actual primary evidence that supports this theory.